So we all know what haploid means. Just one set of chromosomes. Diploid means two sets, right? 24, 23, 23, 22, 23.
46.
23 for mom,
I know,
23
I know
for
math.
dad. And then those chromosomes, chromosome 1 from mom, chromosome 1 from dad, are called a homologous pair. Don't forget this. A homologous pair is mother's version and father's version. And then those two homologous pairs, they duplicate themselves, right? Mother's version duplicates itself, father's version duplicates itself. They form sister chromatids that are attached at the kinetic. Remember that? All that 112? Okay? When they find each other during prophase 1, they've already duplicated, they snuggle up with each other, they form something called a tetrad, 4 tetrad. And then they undergo synapsis, crossover. They swap pieces of genetic material. Now we have completely different genetics. Right. A gene. What's a gene? What's a gene?
Section of deviation.
A section of DNA for construction of a particular protein, for the most part, right? I like to think of them as little recipes. It's a recipe for a gene, for a protein. And we have different genes. You and I don't, we share some genes that are very similar to each other. But even in us, we have different genes on our chromosomes because of what our mother gave us and what our father gave us. Those two different versions of a gene are referred to as alleles. So my mother's allele and my father's allele may be the same, or they may be different. And did you learn about Mendelian genetics? Mendelian genetics is where you have something called complete dominance. And one gene may override the expression of another gene. The gene that overrides the expression of the other gene, the allele, that overrides the expression of the other allele is referred to as the dominant allele. The one allele that is not able to express itself if there's a dominant is referred to as the recessive allele. Dominant alleles, recessive alleles, of course, genetics isn't always that simple. But this is the starting point for understanding heredity. When you have a dominant allele and you have a recessive allele, the dominant allele is going to be the one that is expressed phenotypically. What do I mean by phenotypically?
Visual.
What you can see.
Your brown hair.
Yes.
Your brown eyes.
Yes, exactly. And we're going to go to the brown hair and brown eyes because my parents gave a perfect example of dominance and recession. So when we have a dominant allele overriding expression of a recessive allele, we have a heterozygous situation. They are said to be heterozygous. If we have two dominant alleles, perfect, we are homozygous dominant. If we have two recessive alleles, fine, we are homozygous recessive. Now, what do you think about dominant alleles and recessive alleles? Is one better than the other? No, why do you say that?
I don't have really an answer for it, but,
Anybody? Anybody?
They're just different expression.
Different ways of expressing things. And I'll give you a perfect example of why recessive alleles are not necessarily bad. 5 digits on your hand is a recessive, homozygous recessive. We like to have 5, not 6, not 7, not 5. We
It's
like to have
recessive as
5.
well, isn't it?
It's recessive.
Height is recessive as well, isn't it?
Height is controlled by many genes.
Yeah, but part of it.
Height is controlled by many genes. There's no 5 foot, 6 foot, 7 foot. Same with weight. Same with skin color. Same with hair color. Same with all of these other color kind of things. These are referred to as polygenic. Polygenic. Yeah. So dominant alleles, recessive alleles lead to expressions. We can have conditions like autosomal inheritance, sequence inheritance, and polygenic inheritance. And this is what we just were talking about. Height, weight, skin color, all dictated by multiple genes, multiple alleles contributing to that phenotypic expression. The other term, genotypic, genotype, that's referring to the genetics. And genotype, of course, leads to phenotype, what you see. So we're going to work through some